Hey everybody, sorry Dilbos. I'm going to be going through a whole bunch of these, and I apologize profusely because I've already gone through them. I was using Camera Awesome on my phone, and after I finished, it crashes every time I try to upload. So I have to film this thing again, which is like 9 days worth of 9 or 10 days worth of Dilbos. So this is going to be fun. I am on the verge of madness. Starting Monday, December 16th, a guy walks into a conference room. He's got facial hair. He sees that Wally has facial hair, and he goes, and Dilbert's there too, and he goes, "Gah, the second uncoolest person in the world has my same facial hair." Then he looks at Dilbert and says, "And the uncoolest person in the world is clean shaven. You're leaving me no place to go." Last one, later that month, and then he's talking to Alice. She says, "I don't see it catching on," and he says, "Give it time." And his hair has basically taken over his face like a head crab. So fun. December 17th, that's a Tuesday. Dilbert says, "Hi, my name is," and somebody at a cubicle, she takes a picture of him and says, "Don't bother." And she says, "My app does facial recognition and searches all social media to give me your full biography." He says, "How's that working?" And she says, "You're either Bart Simpson or a huge dry erase marker." Lovely. Wednesday, December 18th. The boss is eating chips at a conference room table next to the speakerphone. ASOC and Dilbert are there. Dilbert says, "Maybe it's not a good idea to eat a noisy bag of chips next to a speakerphone." So the boss starts angrily eating the chips much, much harder. And it just says, "Crunch, crunch, 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 crunch." And Dilbert says, "Uh-oh, my common sense has wounded your ego and made you defiant." And ASOC says, "Did you really think he would stop?" And Dilbert says, "No, I hate the guy who was on the speakerphone." Can't wait for this year to be over. I really can't. Dilbert, boss, and a pirate are sitting at the conference table. Dilbert says, "We've had reports of meeting pirates taking over agendas and pillaging credits." And then the pirate yells, "Yarg, I take your document and leave you scurvy rats adrift. And then I invented server virtualization, yarg." And the boss says, "Wow, that was a good idea." When you don't have an idea, just throw a pirate in there. Just throw him in. Wally is standing with, I don't know her name. But she says, "Wally, can you attend my meeting Friday?" And he says, "I'm very busy, but I'll meet you halfway." She says, "What does that even mean in this context?" And he says, "They say half of life is just showing up." And she says, "So you will be," and he says, "doing the other half." December 21st and 22nd, Saturday and Sunday, Alice is talking to a guy at a conference room table. Dilbert's there. And Alice says, "Excuse me, by my count, you've said the same thing 27 times using different words. If I can get sworn statements from everyone here that we understand your point, will you stop talking?" And he says, "Well, that's mighty rude of you." And she says, "I don't get your point. Can you repeat it 26 more times?" Swear we're getting close. Monday, December 23rd. Old man yelling at ASOC, "I know what I'm talking about. I have 30 years in this industry." And ASOC says, "How does that help you understand technology that is 6 months old in a youth-oriented culture?" And then he pulls out a box with a wire on it and yells, "Grr!" And ASOC goes, "Please don't hit me with your modem." This one's very touching. Dilbert and Dogbert are sitting on rocks. And Dogbert says, "I've decided to escalate my antisocial behavior from not listening to actively talking over other people." Then in the second panel, what they say is basically unintelligible because they're both talking over each other and the words actually cover over each other, so it just looks like a really bad misprint. And then Dilbert looks angry, and Dogbert says, "It all came together when I realized that listening isn't the fun part." And lastly, oh, no, sorry, we have two more. So, Christmas Day, Wednesday, December 25th. Merry Christmas. Dilbert comes downstairs to the breakfast table where Dogbert is, and Dilbert says, "Are you ready to do mental gifting?" And Dogbert says, "You go first." And Dilbert says, "I imagine giving you a sweater that doesn't fit." And then Dogbert says, "I imagine giving you a tool that you already have." And Dilbert says, "Merry Christmas, Dogbert." And Dogbert says, "Stupid sweater." Thursday, December 26th, Kwanzaa begins. It's Boxing Day. It's St. Stephen's Day. And it's Proclamation Day. December 26th, doing it up. Dilbert is half dressed on the bed with his shirt undone and his tie is off, and Dogbert's there. And Dilbert says, I feel like a failure. Say something to cheer me up. And Dogbert says, happiness comes from comparing yourself to a reference group that is relatively worse off. You're a successful member of the reference group. And Dilbert looks excited and he goes, and that's not nothing. It is nothing. It's nothing. Anyways, we only got about a week more of this. Very excited to get this sad project over. Though, I'm excited because tomorrow's actually Christmas Day for me in real time. So I'm excited to see if maybe I get another one of these calendars and see what next year's project is. All right. Bye.